what are some recommendations that you would give that you like? Maybe we pick something sort of across the spectrum from approachable. Hit the highlights. Approachable to super weird and fun.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, not to be self-serving, but I do feel like the Golden Fleece is a great entry into fuzz.
I agree.
Then honestly, if you're kind of budget conscious or you're not wanting to spend an arm and a leg, I genuinely think that it's a silly name. The MXR Super Badass Variac Fuzz. I don't know what it's based on, but it's a really fun fuzz to play, and it sounds really good and has a lot of cool function. So I think that one is a great one to experiment with if you're wanting to like try something for the first time. But I also think if you're wanting to experience fuzz face, I would get like the Jimi Hendrix Dunlop, normal fuzz face. And then I would probably try a Ram's Head Big Muff first. I feel like that is the most approachable take on that classic. So I think Electro Harmonics makes a little like $100, $110 reissue of that. Big Muff.
Those are solid suggestions. So my start with like most sort of approachable, I have a couple here. One is the Golden Fleece, but you already said that. So the Boss FZ1 Waza, that I love that fuzz. I love it for a few reasons. One, it's I think fairly priced. It's a Boss pedal. It's the Waza Craft, so it's slightly more expensive, but it has two modes. It has basically like a modern and a classic mode, and they sound distinctly different from each other. I don't know what it's based on. I don't know anything about the circuit topology. It's just really good. The other reason why is it does one of my favorite tricks that some fuzz pedals will do. Not all, but you'll hear people talk about a lot, how well does it clean up with your volume knob, right?
Yeah.
And that is the thing that some fuzz pedals do and others don't. This one does it incredibly well. So when you roll back on the volume, the fuzz cleans up. But this one does it particularly well. And one of my favorite tricks to do with a fuzz pedal is if you want a really big, great sounding, clean guitar on a recording or whatever, like something that sort of signals as clean, but sounds really, really lush and dense, a fuzz pedal where your guitar's volume is like as low as it will go. Like you basically turn the volume off and then you creep the volume open, you crack it open just enough to where signal is like barely coming out of the pickups. And you go into one of those fuzz pedals and it just creates this big, giant, lush, saturated, clean sound. And it's so cool. It's not very practical necessarily for live use because you do have to like really find that spot on the volume pot. But
right.
Yeah, FZ1 Waza. JHS 3 Series, super cool. $99. I don't remember what that one was based on either. No, it's
a fuzz face.
It is a fuzz face? Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I was there.
Thing I like about the 3 Series, it has the bias control. So you can take it from tame, sort of approachable and bring that bias down and make it spitty and gnarly and nasty, which is one of my favorite things fuzz pedals do. One of my favorites that's been on my board the most for the last few years, the Stromer Super Fuzz. Super small boutique builder operation. I think it's like one guy still. But his prices are reasonable. I bought mine on Reverb for like $200 a few years ago. It is a killer octave fuzz. Maybe my favorite octave fuzz ever. And I love octave fuzzes. My God.
Yeah.
That may be my favorite type of fuzz.
I got to get you one of the new Argo Boost Deluxe.
Oh, like octave fuzz? Well, let me.
Here's one I prepared earlier. I mean, octave fuzz is. I think that should not be where you start.
No.
But it should be where you end up.
Yeah, you should. Jex Tellez Canyon Climber, which you still have my Canyon Climber, don't you?
I do. And you said Zvex earlier.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, accidentally.
Oh, sorry. I meant Canyon Climber. I noticed that when I listen back to the show, sometimes I misspeak a lot. I've noticed.
I think my brain moves faster than my mouth.
Same. I meant Jex Tellez. So,
yes.
We'll have to correct that. This is a Jonathan Wilson signature pedal. It's not for everybody. If you don't like super gnarly, spitty, shitty sounding fuzzes, you're not going to like this pedal. But if you do, you're going to love this pedal. I think they're not made anymore, so they're kind of expensive on the secondhand market, but they're super cool. They're based off of the companion fuzz, I believe, from, was that Shinai?
Shinai, yeah.
Shinai, yeah. Really cool Japanese fuzz from the late 60s, you know.
Well, I think that's kind of like a super fuzz or something.
Yeah.
Like most of those Japanese fuzzes are all super fuzzes.
It doesn't have the octave. It doesn't do the octave thing.
Right.
And it's one of those fuzzes. It has one sound. Like it might as well not even have knobs on it. It's like,
yeah,
it might as well just be a foot switch. But it's a super cool sound, and I love it. So,
yeah.
All right.
Okay, Addison.
All right, here we go. A couple chat faves. JLB says Analog Man Sun Faces and the Scott McKeon.
Scott
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
a cool fuzz.
His
Yeah.
fuzz. Matt, he might have just been joking, but he said the Timmy. I don't know. Can you get fuzz sounds out of the Timmy?
If it's broken.
Okay. A broken Timmy is Matt's favorite fuzz. Paul says Kingtone Vintage Fuzz, or really any of his fuzzes. And then the La Super Rica. You guys heard of that fuzz?
Uh-huh.
Okay, very cool.
My favorite
that- I
Mexican
think-
restaurant, though. Tex-Mex restaurant.
Yeah, I think La Super Rica, I've seen that.
That's not a joke, by the way. That is my favorite Tex-Mex restaurant.
Nice.
That's Seymour Duncan.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Okay. Anything Beatronics. Did you guys talk about?
dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They make some wild stuff.
Royal Jelly is a great place to start if you got a little cash to spend. The Octave, if you want a really fun, really cool octave. And then this one goes on and off my board, but the Tropicalia fuzz, another really good versatile fuzz that has a mode called the Tropicalia mode, which again on its own sounds like shit. It's like super nasally, just like very narrow, mid-rangey sounding fuzz, but it's meant to go after this, as I understand it, it's meant to go after this certain style of Brazilian like psychedelic rock from the late 60s or 70s called Tropicalia, and it's rad.